Welcome back to Morgan's video blog with writing tips from the pros and, of course, my own writerly musings. Today, I'm here to share with you writing the sex scene in non-erotic works, a Balticon 2022 panel. Now, these are the notes from the titular panel, and the panelists were Luis Carlos Barangan, Chrissy Myers, Javier Valderrama, Botticelli, Chris Lester with Mary Terzillo as moderator. The description was as follows: the good, the bad, and the bumping uglies. Writing a compelling sex scene that moves the plot forward without turning your work into erotica is a balancing act. Where you fade to black depends on your audience and your own writing style. Let's talk about the words and phrases used to describe alien or human sex organs and how to depict the act in your writing. Now, sex scenes can run the gamut from fade to black as soon as they reach for a kiss to explicit move by move erotica. But when you're writing a story that's not erotica, deciding where to draw that line can be a challenge. In most societies, sex is defined as either divine or profane, or situationally both, and religions often seek to define how and when it should occur. Because sex is power, so religions can't ignore it. It's often a near competitor. How many nations have risen and fallen due to religion? How many have risen and fallen due to love or lust? So let's start off with why you might want to include sex scenes in your book. Well, sex can be fun, it can be interesting. It is a thing that many people do. You can include it for love or lust. You can use it just to demonstrate a part of life, or you can use it to demonstrate the intimacy level between characters. You can show emotional walls breaking down or going up, and you can demonstrate a couple reconnecting or disconnecting. So, how do you decide if or when to fade to black? Well, for those of you unfamiliar with the euphemism, fade to black refers to how in movies and TV shows where they show a couple literally reaching for each other and then the screen literally fades to black and you pick up the next morning or whenever and the sex is implied but not shown. You can fade to black when they reach for that first kiss, when the clothes come off, when the underthings come off, when the foreplay is done, or never. All you need to consider are one, what is your comfort level? Two, what serves the needs of the plot? And three, how does this forward the plot or the emotional arc of the characters? So you're ready to write that sex scene. You've decided where it fits in. What makes a sex scene bad? Well, in English, especially, using terms that read oddly, like textbook anatomy terms or absurd, medicalized, or obscene euphemisms, using metaphors that take some parsing to sort out what's happening or otherwise just distract from the scene. Another way to make sex scenes bad is when the sex doesn't make sense between these characters in the context of the book or the characters. A lack of consent makes a bad sex scene. It's not sex, that's rape. A lack of emotional content, sex that doesn't move the story or the character forward. I've read some romance books where I skip the sex scene because it doesn't matter to the plot, and the author got repetitive after the third book. And another way to make sex scenes bad is having describing body parts not actually being or working as they're described when it just doesn't, the logistics aren't working. So, on the flip side, what makes a sex scene good? Well, do note that sexual activity can be done in person or via letters, phone, or video calls. And the primary takeaways are to build the tension, and you don't even need to get explicit, and to focus on the emotional and sensual reactions rather than the physical logistics. So the panelists talked about some of the unique sex scenes and motivations they saw in books. And I didn't get the titles for these, but a few of the ones they described were one had a main character who absorbed an incubus's powers, becoming a succubus. Besides their internal struggle of wanting to return to their human existence or embracing their new status, they also ended up with two partners of different sexes, and there is a scene in which they have sex with partner A, who has, with consent, shapeshifted into the form of partner B, who isn't there. Another world had empaths, where their intimacy leads to tighter connections than those who aren't empaths, because you can feel what the other person is feeling, etc. And another story explored a world where people merge when they touch, and you can walk through someone and share their physical sensations and their memories. Many people in this world fear sex for fear of exchanging organs or losing theirs. And other stories explored genitalia that move from person to person. So, some of the media recommendations, either for good sex scenes, good emotional content in there, or just curiosities, are Our Share of the Night by Mariana Enriquez. It shows love, beauty, and horror. The Incubus series by A.H. Lee shows a male male female triad and uses sex scenes to advance the character conflicts, etc. Also by A.H. Lee, suggested was The Night with a K, and The Necromancer, which features a male male romance. The author K.J. Charles writes mostly historical queer romance, some paranormal, and smut, skullduggery, and swashbuckling may occur. The Xenogenesis trilogy by Octavia Butler explores the complex themes of gender and species. While not explicit, it includes aliens of three genders who can have sex with humans, and the third species makes any encounter more connected and, if reproducing, can merge genetics from all involved. The book movie Crash by J.G. Ballard explores car crash fetishism. The French movie Titane explores body horror as a murderer has sex with and becomes pregnant by a car. That's a weird one. And on the flip side, for people who don't want things so explicit, there's Kristen Higgins, who demonstrates how tension can be sexy without being explicit. So, how explicit do you like your books? Do you fade to black sooner when it's your own writing? Are there any books or tips you'd like to add? Let me know in the comments below. As always, thank you for watching, and tune in again next week for more writing tips and writerly musings. Bye bye.